And we're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bookshelf Live. This is our first Bookshelf episode of 2026. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. We are delighted to be here for the next little while talking about... It's a bonus episode, essentially, but it's very, very live. And that means you can get involved by being present on Instagram or indeed YouTube. And if you want to send in questions or thoughts or suggestions or anything else at all, this is very, very fluid. And the lads are here. We've got Tom, we've got Aidan behind the scenes. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Good day to you, and the same to you. The Larry David sketch, which has been doing the rounds this morning, is very funny from Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is there's a cut-off point for Happy New Year's, and we're calling it. That's enough now. Do you know what I mean? Do you know there's some people who, it's a bit like the people who used to stand up first really quickly at Mass. Some people just love the theatre of it. So I think there's, hey, I'm Mary Father Christ, the Lord's with you. But there's a touch of that. And so with the Happy New Year's, you can still, there's some people who they're still at it, and it's Patrick's Day, so just enough now. But I hope everyone is in good shape. Obviously, I got heaps of books for Christmas, some of which I asked for, some of which I didn't ask for, but gratefully received. One of which I had, so I went back to the bookshop and they changed it within 1.5 seconds. Thank you, Books Upstairs in Ranelagh. Gwen, that's the name of the lady there. Brilliant. And I've been in and out of bookshops all over the last few days as well. I was in our old friends in Easton's in Dún Laoghaire yesterday, where the main man there was telling me that the books that were selling out over Christmas, they couldn't keep Manchán Magan, I hate to say it, the late Manchán Magan's books, they couldn't keep them in. Hugely popular, and people just wanted to read that. So I'd say a lot of you might have got that over Christmas. I got his book actually just bought it before he died, sadly, but his book on Iceland, which was really quite something. I'm fascinated by the links between Ireland and Iceland. And Claire, she is my wife now, she got connections between India, because she has Indian heritage, and India and Ireland connections written by Manchán, which is pretty impressive, is it not? Let me say hello to Aoife, who's got in touch on Instagram. Hello, Aoife. What upcoming releases are you most excited about? I'll come to that in a second. Somebody called themselves Hash Brown. I'd never know whether to call... No, I know, but whether to call people by their handles, it always kind of throws me a little bit, because it's a bit like the guy phoning Moe's Tavern in The Simpsons, is it? I want to talk to Seymour Butts. So, but Hash Brown says John Scally's new book, Extraordinary GAA Characters, is fabulous. I don't know if that's the same John Scally I used to work with 100 years ago, but if it is, great guy. Magella says, I'd love to be introduced to some new authors. Well, stand by, Magella. I've got some great suggestions. I literally packed a bag full of books. If you're on Instagram, Insta-Tuberty, you'll see the little clip of me packing with a bag to come in here today with my books. And Jenny says, what new books can we look forward to? Come to that in a second. Greetings from Fan in County Donegal. And hello, wherever you are in the world, by all means, get involved and say hello. We'd love to hear from you today. So what I've done is I've packed a few different types of books today. One is the proof copies that I get very decently from my friends in the publicists around the place, like Cormac Kinsella and Elaine Egan and Michael McLaughlin and his team in Penguin Ireland. They're brilliant. And Declan Heaney, people like that. And their job is to send books to people like myself who are book enthusiasts who spread the good word, who would want to tell you about the book. So we get proof copies. That is to say, and I hope I'm not patronizing when I say that, but the proof copies essentially are only for reviewers. So you'll see in a proof copy like this, it'll say it on the spine, March 26. So you know immediately that it's not, or it'll say not for sale or not for quote or what have you. So that's the proof copies. And when I posted the spines of all these proof copies, including Maggie O'Farrell, I'll talk about them in a second. I don't have Adele copies with me, sadly, but people were saying, I can't believe you have proof copies. In fact, one person was quite profane in their description of me for having simply a proof copy of a book. I was going, you're enthusiastic. But nevertheless, that's what it is, and that was fun. Today, also going to do something slightly different. If you're sticking around, because it's lunchtime, we thought you might have time to have a cup of coffee with us. What we're going to do is I'm going to talk about a few bits and pieces I've been watching, movie-wise and TV-wise, whether it's Pluribus or whether it's Marty Supreme or whether it's I Swear. Also this evening, talk about proof copies of books. I also get preview copies of films sometimes to go and see. So I'm going to go and see Hamnet tonight, and that is the film with Jessie Buckley, who I just simply love Jessie Buckley as a person, having interviewed her several times, but also as an actress, an actor. She's just brilliant. and she's in Hamnet, not Hamlet, with Paul Mescal. And it's based on the Maggie O'Farrell book, which brings me neatly to Maggie O'Farrell, because she's got a new book out. Did you like that segue? Are you sniggering at my segue? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was a 7-Up. I thought you were going. It was actually. I mean, I can't believe I confused the. Yeah, but that's supposed to a can of beers, which is. You could probably have a bag of cans there. Right? Maggie O'Farrell's book, Land. This is the one that earned me the opprobrium of one Insta listener, because they were saying, I can't even say the word. It was so, I can't believe you have that book, you. Anyway, that's what it's called, Land. This is a very peculiar book, but I'm only about a third way in. I've got 3 books on the go. In fact, I finished this book this morning, about 5:30 this morning. A long story. I'll come back to you on that. But this is Land. And I'm drawn to anything to do with the famine, the Irish famine in particular. And this book talks about the topography of the land as a father and son. And the dad's job is to make out maps. Remind me a little Brian Friel's book, Translations, where they're naming the streets, the townlands, and these British soldiers come in and say, no, just call it this and call it that. It's a bit like that post-famine, so you can still feel the hunger in the air, if you like. And then I just got to another chapter which begins, and it goes into magic realism. So then I paused and said, I'll come back to you on the magic realism. I'm not a big magic realism fan, but I think she's amazing, and I'll be watching Hamnet later on. I'm sure lots of you read and loved that book. And with that in mind, this one I can't wait to get back to, having had a taste of it. This is coming out, as I was saying, that's out in June. I know that's not much use to you, but if you want a preview of it, there you go. And if you want to pre-order, can't you do that now, which is great. Okay, I see lots of comments coming in, but they're the only problem is they are...
You don't read them?
They're highlighted, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm trying.
Oh, no, I can now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ivan, is that Ivan? Says Nollaig Namon. Is Nollaig Namon today, the 6th? Well, if it is, happy Nollaig Namon. And Digi Sweeney says, Happy New Year. Now, who is your favourite female Irish crime writer? Oh, I've got 3. I love Liz Nugent. I love Andrea Mara. I love Jane Casey. Is it Nollaig Namon today? Happy Nollaig Namon, everybody. I gotta feel bad now because I just had to kind of hang up my mother. I'll go back to. She's not watching, but I'll keep going. Congratulations on your marriage, Angeline. Thank you. Geraldine's in Tenerife. Imagine being in Tenerife and actually tuning into this. You're mad. But if you're by the pool, what is it like? Is it hot in Tenerife? It's not as cold today as it was yesterday. Did you feel that in the air? Yeah. Okay, well, that's enough of that conversation. Christopher's in Germany. Happy New Year. Christopher, welcome. Nice to have you with us today. And Mag says, from Tipperary, some new ideas for reading. Okay, we'll get to that. Will you do books for teenagers at some stage? I don't know. Is anyone reading Romantasy? Is anyone watching this reading Romantasy? And if so, how is it for you? Now, here's a book that is in the bookshops. I finished this morning. I woke up really early today because I was quite excited about doing this. And so, I woke up and I said, okay, well, now I'm going to get my coffee and read my book. People keep asking me. I get asked this a lot. If you want to ask any questions today about anything, please do. We'll shoot the breeze here for a little while. One of the ones is, where do you get all the time to read? I'll say it again. I've said it a million times before, but I will say it again. I go to bed quite early and I wake up quite early and I turn off the TV a lot. So I watch plenty of TV and I love the cinema, but I also know when I've had enough. And also, I don't read Kindles because I feel it's another screen. I know they're useful for people. That's fine. In fact, I got to watch. Do you know what I got to watch?
Snazzy.
It's not. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. It's a nice. It's got the Roman numerals, which I like. Although it's always very confusing because Roman numerals, as you know, is IV is for 4, and on these watches it's I, which is like Jim Diamond singing. I should have known better, but the bottom line is it's wrong. So let's move on to what I was saying. It's a good tune, very good tune. Jim, and actually I interviewed Jim Sheridan. Jim Sheridan is another story. Jim Diamond once. And I said to him, you know that bit in that song where he goes, yeah. I said, where did that come from? Because it's so iconic. And he said, it comes from the fact that he said, you know when you're having a row with your wife and you can't take it anymore, you just go, I. I said, is that it? He said, that's totally true. I said, I never knew that before, Jim Diamond. Mary says, Happy New Year from Fife. There we go, back to Scotland. That brings me, let's go. Okay, I'll come back to this book in a second. I'm bouncing because I'm excited to tell you. I watched the film the other night and loads of people on Instagram said they loved it too, called I Swear. Robert Aramayo is the name of the guy who plays a man with Tourette syndrome. And it starts really sad because it's a kid who's going to be a goalkeeper and he's doing great with life. And he's a really lovely kid. You can tell the goodness in him. And the next thing he he starts twitching and he starts shouting things, and he becomes Tourette's. And no one knew it. It was 1983. No one knew how to deal with it and everything like that. And people are really cruel, and then they're not. Maxine Peake, her character, comes in, and she's lovely. But Robert Aramayo comes up as the adult version of the young guy, and he is just brilliant. This is a warm, kind, funny, educational, beautiful film. I was saying watching it, if this was American, he'd win an Oscar for it. But because it's so British and it's Scottish, hence Fife, Jim Diamond, and so on, it'll probably just win a load of BAFTAs, which is great, I'm sure. But he's just brilliant in it. And I tagged him in my comment last night, and he liked it himself, the Robert Aramayo, which is strange because I just presumed he'd be busy accepting awards. He's that good. But I spotted him in a film called Palestine 36, which stars Liam Cunningham, among others, and Jeremy Irons, who lives in West Cork, as you know. And that's a great film too, because of what's happening in the Middle East. I'd recommend that. It's available to stream or whatever way you do it. Okay, Ryan, tuning in from beautiful Lahinch. Happy New Year. Thank you to you. And it's chilly and nice, says Emma. Okay, thank you for that. What was the book that had you hooked, Ryan? Anyone in particular that made you the bookworm you are today? It changes. I absolutely, I just love reading. I never go anywhere. And if it's a newspaper, I still love a newspaper. I think people probably laugh when they see me with a hard copy of a newspaper now because I love the crossword. I'm a puzzler. Oh, can I show you something actually? So I love Scrabble. I've really got onto the Scrabble bus recently. So this is one thing I'm going to share with you. For the Scrabble fans, the Bible. So this is really good. Basically, isn't it? It's a Scrabble dictionary, right? Nothing else to it. No, for confirming that you're right. So the way this works, because when you play Scrabble, you can go on your phone checking for a word, right? And that's another screen at their back. The point is they're not meant to be screens for Scrabble, right? So that's one thing. Two, thanks to one of my youngest daughter's pal who said, no, you can't pick a word and then go into the and hope it's there. You've got to just do it and then guess. And then look and see is it there. And in that case, if it's there, great. If not, you forfeit your go. But that's that. Then this. Look at this. It's a Scrabble scorebook. So you can, with a pencil, so you can score it up right in. The points just got, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I already have one in there. Look, isn't that great? Who does not want this in their life? Who doesn't? And I feel mockery is just. Did somebody call mockery into the? Did I win? Oh, by 3 points. It was. It was vicious. Do you want to know the score? It was that vicious. And actually, 273 to 270. Oh.
What was your best word?
Oh, but no, my worst one was at the end to get the 3. I was like, in or is. I was disgusting. I was appalled at myself. I reported myself to the Scrabble authorities. I said, this man. Anyway, other good news. Look at this. What is this? Come on.
It's a weapon.
1, 2, 3. Do you know what this is? This is ridiculous. You put this on, right, like that. Put it on the table. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Put the Scrabble board on, so you can turn the board around like a Lazy Susan. Come on. You can buy that.
One of the many points you get for Lazy Susan.
You get loads. There's a Z in there. Anyway, what are we doing? Books, right. Finish it. The story of the making of The Godfather is nuts. Currently in Vincent's awaiting a heart. Is that it? A heart? Is there surgery going on there with that person? Oh, wish you well. Do we have somebody's name there? I wonder how you'd do.
I'll find it.
We'll get back to you. Anyway, we're thinking of you if you're in hospital, and it's very nice of you to join us.
The Wicklow Wine Man.
The Wicklow Wine Man. Okay, I hope you're okay, and you've got loads of books. If you want any more, I know somebody we can get you a couple of books into you if you're stuck. How about that? That might be of help. Emma, my first slow dance was I should have known better. Okay, sorry, Emma. Are you still together? Do you know the opening line is should have known better to lie to one as beautiful as you? Yeah, still together.
What was yours?
Yeah. I gotta have some privacy, lads. But it's a great story because it all happened quite by accident. Now, this book, I'm going to be interviewing A.A. Dand in London in 2 weeks' time as part of the News UK building that I work in. Has a book club in the building, and they bring in guests to talk to, such as Michael Morpurgo, Lucy Foley, Adele Parks, and so on. This is the next one. So I finished this today. I finished this in 3 days. This book is gas because it's quite heavy. It's quite dark. It reminded me of a cross between Irvin Welsh, Train Spotting, or his crime books, meets Harlan Coben. Yeah, and the main guy, and what kind of throws me, if you can see the cover there. Yeah, I can see the screen there. The main character is a chemist, right? He's a good guy, flawed, like all the good guys, flawed. But his character's name is Idris. So all I have in my head for the whole book is Idris Elba. And actually looks a bit like Idris Elba, doesn't he, in the cover? So that's not a bad thing, because he's a bit of an action hero too. And it's set in Leeds, it's in the flats. But if anyone knows anyone in the pharmacy trade, this book is, because he's the chemist who's had enough. And so there's a lot of pharmaceutical related, narco activity, and it's quite mad. But I liked it a lot, and it's a real page turner, and it's available now. So that's a good one, and it's now this on occasions it can be a bit, but really, really, really good. So, The Chemist by A.A. Dan. We'll probably put these recommendations on the pod. You know what I'm trying to say. Here we go. Vix Daily Chaos. Hello from Tipperary. Hello from Tipperary. Any recommendations for books for Beatles fans? Okay, well, it depends. You can have like an annual, like the anthology compendium is really good, and that's a real treat for yourself. As is the Paul McCartney Beatles lyrics. Paul McCartney lyrics is beautiful. Paul Muldoon, the poet, interviewed McCartney about these lyrics, and they put together this beautiful compilation compendium. There's a book which I think is probably the one you really want today, is called John and Paul. Author's name escapes me. I got it for Christmas. I was going to bring it in, but I'd mentioned it before, so you could give that a go. Okay. Best book festival in Ireland, Dave Griffiths tells me. I usually go to the one in Merrion Square, the Dalkey one, and the Dublin Book Festival. Any ideas who might be appearing this year? I have no idea. I've only ever really been at one or two book festivals. Boris is meant to be a very good festival. I might go to that this year. I've more time to go to book festivals this year, so I'll come back to you on that, but really, I love it. Should have known better. God, no. Oh, Emma, she's back. God, no. School disco. Oh, it was my first dance. Oh, so I thought you meant it's your first slow dance. I thought you meant your first dance at your wedding. Oh, you should have. Oh, well. Does that beat me? Mine was Berlin, Take My Breath Away. Who wins?
Disco or at the wedding?
No, at the first dance. Come on. Let's talk about a book that will be out in March, coming very soon. When I mentioned that I had these books in advance, all everyone got back to me about mostly was this one, Liz Nugent. People are so excited about Liz Nugent's new book. It's called, as you can see, The Truth About Ruby Cooper. I am about 124 pages in, so I'm about a third-ish way in, and I was kind of racing to finish The Chemist so I could come back to this because it's that good. And it is it's Boston, it's Ireland, it's relationships, it's families, it's sisters, which I like that dynamic, and it is deception. It's really good. I don't know where it's going to go now, but it bounces along at a clip. This is great. Liz fans will not be disappointed. We'll come back to that in the next few weeks and months. I have no doubt about it. Henrietta McCurvey. What was the book that she did that I absolutely loved? Once upon a time, Henrietta McCurvey is an author, and she wrote a book that the name escapes me now. Sorry about that. What a pro! It's the author of What Becomes of Us. Oh no, there it is. A Talented Man. That's it. Because it was quite Patricia Highsmith, quite Ripley, and that is absolutely why I'm dying to read this, because I'm a huge Daphne du Maurier fan. If you've read Rebecca, you'll know Daphne du Maurier is superb. She also wrote the short stories on which The Birds Hitchcock was based on, and on which Don't Look Now, one of the best films ever made, with Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie. Creepy film about Venice, showing it for the creepy and romantic city it is all at the same time. So Henrietta has come up with this one. This is for March as well. And it is this the one that I'm talking about, The Woman in the Morning? Yeah. This is has at the heart of the classic novel Rebecca lies a mystery. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm really keen. You're asking me what am I excited about? I can't wait to read this. I haven't even started yet, but I'm ready. I am ready for this. I'm going to come to you about this one. Anyone who likes Victorian true crime, now don't fall asleep. Victorian true crime I love it. The Suspicions of Mr. Whicher, that's Kate Summerscale. Read that book if you haven't. And it's just about the beginning of detective work and police work. And they're all true stories. She also wrote Peep Show about Rillington Place, which was more in the 1950s. But she wrote one called The Wicked Boy, which is follow-up to The Suspicions of Mr. Whicher. These are great books. In the middle of them all, I found this, and I mentioned this before Christmas, but I'm going to mention it again because I loved every inch of this book. It's called Scotland Yard: A Bloody History, and this is one of, and I love books that have Victoriana on the front covers and so on. And I started reading this, and I wasn't in the frame of mind to, about, I'd say 6 months ago, and I was just going, and then one day, this is why I have books on my shelves that I haven't read before. One day I said, I'll have a look at this again. And I was obviously just perfectly placed for a frame of mind. And I got stuck into it. And really, it looks at all the beginnings of Scotland Yard. It was grisly and gruesome stories about all sorts of crimes and how they were. But it's the beginning of forensic pathology and fingerprinting and stuff like that. So if that's your bag, go for it. And this name of a guy kept coming up called Bernard Spilsbury, and like he was essentially a Sherlock Holmes like guy for the early 20th century, and he was so in demand that people would queue up outside court cases to watch this guy deliver his verdict on as a pathologist. So this book was mentioned in dispatches, so I bought it straight away, and I read the first page, and already it's kind of written in Victorian, it's completely mad, but I love that. So I love when a book is like a gateway to other things. Okay, elsewhere, let's have a look and see what your podcast got me into Joseph O'Connor's books recently. Currently reading My Father's House, says T. Callana, and I love it. I'm reading on my trusty 14-year-old Kindle. Great. We need a documentary on Hugh O'Flaherty. I think there probably is one. Have a Google of that and see. Joseph O'Connor, one of my favourite people as a human being, but as a writer, sublime. And I hope you've gone back to Star of the Sea and some of his other books, as well as the current books, which are doing so much business for him, and rightly so. Amy. Hi, Amy. Do you keep a log of all the books you've read in a year? I don't. I started running about 2 years ago, little 5, 6, 7Ks, and I didn't go on Strava because I didn't want to compete against anyone. And with reading, I don't compete against anyone. I don't know anyone in my life who I say, how many are you on? It's not about how many you're on. It's not how beautiful is the book, how much fun is the book. So I appreciate why you'd say, do you, but having said that, I read fair few, and I do kind of regret that I don't know which year was which that I was reading them. I used to write my name and the year I read the book and the month, and I kind of stopped doing that. So you got me thinking about that. So I might start doing that a bit more. Okay, what else? I have not read this one, but I've been reading a lot around it. And this Charlene has written a book called Saoirse, Can a Great Love Survive a Great Deception? Already I'm interested. And I don't know, it's set in 1999, the wilds of Donegal. We have somebody just saying hello from Donegal there. Saoirse is an artist living in an outwardly idyllic life. Her tender husband, Dahi, and two beloved daughters are regular subjects for her work, and in them she has found the safe home, etc., etc. She tends not to talk about her past, but now her secrets are about to be revealed, putting their future in danger. I mean, that's fun. That's next month, February. Love the cover too. I think it's really good. So that's on my TBR, as they say, to be read. This one is probably could be the book of the year 2026. Yeah, it's a big thing to say. I read this last month and I don't think I could put it down. It was that good. This is called Good People, and it's coming out next month. So I would put a pre-order in fast. And I'll tell you why, because it's going to be out of the bookshops like right. I sometimes a book comes along and just go, I can't stop. The author is Patmina Sabit. She's very young. She was from Afghanistan originally, went to America. And this book is written in tiny, really short chapters, which also appeals to me. And each chapter is really a comment by a witness to something that happened. And the book unpeels like an onion. And you're just going, what happened, what happened, what happened? And each witness is related to another. And you're going, I just need to know more. It's so clever. It's got the feel of the names, my book of the year from 2025 by Florence Knapp. It just feels in that wheelhouse. This would be a brilliant book club book, as would Liz's. The others I haven't read yet, so I can't comment on them, but I presume they would be too. But definitely, I just feel this is a real accessible book that you could all read in your family and go, what did you think? What did you think? There's something about it. As I say, it's called Good People. It's coming out next month. Keep an eye on that. I'll be waxing on about that on Instagram, so keep an eye on that too. Damien, Scrabble or Sudoku, if you had to pick. Oh no, there's no competition. I have no interest in Sudoku. I can't even say the word. I can't do sums, numbers, figures. I have no interest. What's the maths thing called? What's that thing that you have it's an allergic reaction every time you see a sum? It's something. It's a phobia or
like misophonia.
Yeah. Which I have that for loud eating as well. I've got it all. Self-diagnosed. Eddie, How are you able to read more than one book at a time? I'd get confused with characters. I don't know. I seem to be able to spin a few plates at the same time. I mean, I don't like doing it, but really it's just, it's sometimes I just want to be on top of everything, and I can do it. I don't make a habit of it. Just at the moment and now I only have 2 on the go, which is great. I've got Liz and Maggie. But I try not to do that if I can help it, to be honest with you. Megan, welcome home, Ryan. We missed you. Gemma, thank you. Good to be back. Yes, it's great to be back. I'll be still going to London a couple of times a week, which is beautiful. And so get the best of all worlds, which is great. But I love being in Ireland. Deborah in Carlo, how did you spend New Year's Eve? Are you a resolutions guy? No. Funny enough, we were chatting about that in the car the other day, the few of us. Arithmophobia. No, there's another word.
Really?
Yeah. It's like... I'm quite good. Dyscalculia.
Dyscalculia.
Is that right? It's like maths, rubbish at maths and stuff. How to spend New Year's Eve? Very quiet. Few pints and I find New Year's Eve a bit of a bore. But but just get on with it. Don't do it. Now I have a few books here I want to mention briefly as books that aren't necessarily for next year, but books that I do want to read. So with that in mind. And I'll just go through these quickly because a lot of you probably will. The Wizard of the Kremlin. This looks really interesting and it's kind of loosely based on events now. So I kind of want to give that a go. Sophie Rayworth, who reads the 10 o'clock news. I was sitting beside her at a lunch a couple of times and she's always talking about this. So I thought, okay, I'll go for that. And she loves her book. Read by Sophie, I think. Or Read by Rayworth is her Insta handle. This one, I couldn't get my hands on for about 3 weeks until yesterday. The director, it's recommended by loads of people. And I think he's a movie director. I think the story is in the time of Nazi Germany. And the question is the moral dilemma. Do you collaborate and make your movies, or do you get out of there and take a stand and make no movies? I think that seems to be I don't want to know too much more because I want to go into it with with no ideas, if that makes sense. And I saw that book was recommended bizarrely by this person, Anne Applebaum, who I followed this morning because I liked her book recommendations. She'll be known to a lot of you. Autocracy Inc., The Dictators Who Want to Run the World. How timely is that? Johnny Venezuela. So that's very, Jesus wept. Percival Everett wrote one of my favourite books the last 2 years called James. This is one of his older ones. It's called The Trees. I'm going to read that as well because I just want to see, could he write, is he consistently a brilliant writer? And equally, Catherine Chidgey, who wrote she was one of my top 3 books last year, The Book of Guilt. This is an old one of hers called Pet. Like every, so it's set in New Zealand in 1984 and 2014. Looks at racism, misogyny, and so on. A psychological thriller, which I love. And she's a brilliant writer. So they're the books I'm really hoping to get into. Now, who else? I'm struggling with Butter by Asako Yuzuki. Any thoughts? Put it down, bring it to the charity shop, and get rid of it. That's what I say to you. Don't struggle with a book because it'll put you off reading. If you don't like it, give it to somebody who cares. Because that book, I don't understand its success. I gave it about 10 pages and I was weary. I think I was like walking like after a few pints. I was like, I just couldn't. I see people, and I know somebody else was saying to me the other day, I'm reading Butter, but I'm really having trouble with it. I said, give it to me. I've just felt like throwing it across the garden because life is too short. Look at all these books. Like if I struggle through a book, it's meant to be brilliant. Well, if it's not for you, get rid of it. These books don't take offense. The authors might, but just get rid of it. Bring it to a charity shop. Give it to somebody who really is into Japan or who's into all of that. Like Anthony Horowitz, one of my favorite. He recommended a bunch of Japanese sort of locked room thrillers, and I tried reading them, and it just wasn't for me. Went to Japan last summer, loved it. So it's not like an anti-Japanese thing. It's just sometimes it can be a bit cumbersome in the literature. I have a 50-page rule. I'm really good with it. And although I did break the rule the other day, I was reading one and I got about 110 pages in and I was starting to get arrhythmia. I was so frustrated with how boring it was and it was going nowhere. Do you know, it was like a really bad conversation in a lift and I was sitting there going, no, but really, it was just, like, how's your Christmas? Yeah, great. What floor are we on? What you get up to for the new year? Yeah, any plans? Any resolutions? Oh.
You all set?
You all set? Are you all set? Okay, who else we got? Does anyone have any recommendations? Published diaries? I find them easy to read in bed. Well, I'll tell you what I would recommend is I saw it. It wouldn't be for me, but if that's what your vibe is, there's a book called The Correspondent. And I picked it up yesterday because it was highly recommended. And it's all done in, I think it's emails or something. And it's not for me, but go for that. And diaries wise, gosh, it depends. And I don't know. So I'm not really, I've never really read diaries. I think the last diaries I read was Adrian Mole and whatever happened to him. The London Walk Round, please still organise it. We would love to meet you and have a drink in the Devonshire. Yeah, okay. That's a great idea. We talked about doing the London Walk, but we will come back to that. I think we will. Don't worry. I just need to let a few bits of dust settle elsewhere and be happy to do that. Great advice on the book, says Fiona. I'm on page 10 of Intermezzo and struggling. Should I go to 50? I would say definitely go to 50. But the beauty of that, Fiona, is you're 10 pages in, so you've only 40 to go. And what I would do now with that is I'd sit down and I'd read that 40 just do it. And then at 50, put the kettle on, put the book down and go, great, I'm free. Where do I want to go from there? That's not a comment on the book you're reading. It's just a comment on any book that's not doing it for you. And I would also, with something like that, I would say put it on the shelf and come back to it. It just might not be right for you today. And that often happens with me with a book. And I'll go, I can pick 4 books or 3 books and I'll bring them to bed and I'll read the first page of each one and go, no, oh yeah, there you are. And I'll find you. Honestly, it's like that. So keep going. Oh, that's funny. Diary recommendations from Megan. The River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. That's funny because Wally Lamb I was referring to in without mentioning it in the last 10 minutes, which is quite funny. That is weird. Scott says, I would highly recommend the Charlie Sheen autobiography. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Thank you, Scott. And I love all your recommendations and thoughts. Lash them in. We're working away here. Aidan, there's a lot of comment coming in, which is good news. Everyone's having enjoying their lunch break. And recommendations we will take. Absolutely loved. Love The Correspondent. Oh, great. That's what I just mentioned there, Charlie. That's brilliant. And The Correspondent, also 84 Charing Cross Road. Brilliant. Letters, not diaries, but very easy to read. Beautiful book. There's an Irish dimension to it. I remember reading that because it's a really short book. And Charing Cross Road now it used to be the book-selling street in London. Incidentally, if you are going to London, go to Cecil Court and find Goldsborough books. Oh, it's just so beautiful, the books, and they're beautiful hardbacks, and they're signed first by authors, and they charge the same as you pay for them anywhere else. It's just magnificent. But on the Charlie Sheen thing, I did start watching the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix, and I was about 20 minutes in, and I went, no, it sounds terrible. I said, I don't really care. So I can't give up on it, but maybe the diary's better than the TV show, so we'll say good luck from that. Elsewhere, I watched, I mentioned I Swear, which I loved. Marty Supreme, right, with, what's his name, Chalamet, Timothée Chalamet, is one of the best films I've seen for a long, 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 long time. I went to see it a few days ago, and there's something about it. I don't know how to describe it. It reminded me a bit of Uncut Gems, where they're all kind of talking over it. It turns out it's directed by the same guy. And a bit of Goodfellas, one of my all-time favourite films of all time. But if you're looking for a movie recommendation, go to see Marty Supreme. I was put off by the trailer. I mean, talk about getting the trailer wrong. They kept showing him playing pinball or ping pong, whatever, table tennis. And I was going, I don't want to watch 2 hours of table tennis. And actually, as it turns out, no, but there's only so much ping pong you can have in your life. But as it turns out, it was, have you guys seen it? No, yeah.
I thought it was about ping pong.
You thought it was about ping pong. You see, that's the trailer's wrong. And especially now, Tom, I know you're an athlete, but you and I both aren't interested in these sort of things.
Paddle guy.
More paddle guy,
Yeah.
padel. But it's not. It's actually a brilliant film. And I found myself at times go, so I went with my eldest daughter, and we both, because she got this gene, which is called, what does my friend called it? One sleep after another. I just fall asleep watching movies. But with this one, and so does she, with this one, we were like, nah, it's knockout, honestly. Anything else to recommend? God, I saw it. One of the darkest films I've ever seen. It was just so well acted. I say this, I recommend this with huge caveats. If you're tender, careful. If this is every trigger warning there ever could be is in it, right? So be careful of it. It's called Brimstone, and it stars Guy Pearce and Dakota Fanning. and it's based in the Wild West. It's on Amazon Prime. I found it by accident. I was just flicking around going, we'll try and find something. It's quite a film. So that's one. What else? I haven't seen Saipan. Anyone seen Saipan? No. But I want to see it because I love Éanna Hardwicke. He's one of the greatest actors of this generation. Doesn't get enough love from Ireland yet, but it'll come. He's just brilliant. The other one I quite like, looks quite charming, and I wanted to be an extra in it because I belong to that era, is the James Stewart film, which they were filming in Kerry. I wouldn't have had to change a thing. Just would have walked in and just you're in. Yeah, just walked down, walked up there and then back there, and that's fine. Saw the George Clooney film Jay Kelly. Sorry, boring. And the one I'm dying to see is I'm going to see Hamlet tonight and 28 Years Later, Part 2. Did you see that one? Yeah, it's coming out next week, the week after. Did you see that one, Aidan?
Not my bag.
Not your bag?
Not my
Okay.
bag.
Did you see anything good that you over Christmas in terms of TV or cinema? Avatar, the new one. Oh, yeah. How is it? Did you lose the will to live? Yeah. It was 3 hours, 15 minutes. Did you not even zen out on it? No, nothing. How about you? Aidan? Nothing to...
The last movie I saw in the cinema
Last one you
was
saw in cinema
Nuremberg.
was Nuremberg. Oh, yeah, that was great.
Really enjoyed
Russell Good, isn't he?
Your buddy.
My pal.
He's not bad.
He's good.
Not
He's
bad.
good. I wonder, would he get an Oscar? I think the Oscars currently are Jessie Buckley for Hamlet. Chalamet might get one for, certainly get a nod.
These are tipped, are they?
I'd say so. And then you're looking at Sinners, will get nods around the Sinners was great. I thought Sinners was a great film. Anyway, shall we go back and see what else we got? Mikey has been on East of Eden, planning to read it this year. Is it worth the hype? You're presuming Steinbeck, is it John Steinbeck? Did I read that 100 years ago? I probably did. It's the big, great American novel, isn't it? One of them. I think you're eating your greens there, Mikey. And hopefully you'll discover something beautiful. If that doesn't work for you and you want something American, bit darker and a bit slightly more into the 1950s, try Richard Yates. He wrote Revolutionary Road. You want to be in the holier health. They're pretty bleak, but they're brilliant and really, really good. Mark from Scarbados, how are you, pal? Great to have you with us today. Dracula for diary entries. Great suggestion, Dracula. I was chatting to someone today who watched a new version of Dracula the other day. Who was in it? Christoph Waltz. He said it was, yeah, I know, he's brilliant. I watched the last Daniel Craig James Bond over Christmas. No, it's good, isn't it?
Spoilers.
No, yeah, it's not a spoiler alert. No, but it's really good. It's really good. It's dark as well, but he's great. Rami Malek is great in it, and Christoph Waltz as Blofeld, also very good in it. I like that. And they're saying Callum Turner for the new James Bond. That's where the money is now. Smart money
For today.
for
Today's
today.
money.
But he's dating Dua Lipa.
Engaged, I believe.
Oh, sorry, engaged. She's a book club head,
Yeah.
which makes her even more amazing.
Podcast.
Has a podcast. Did the Camden documentary, which is pretty good too. And in one paper suggested, and that's all it is, that he plays Bond and she does the Bond tune for the. I mean, it's
So
come on, that's a twofer if ever saw it. Meanwhile, Sheena. Hello, Sheena. Safekeep and Maggie Farrell's The Marriage Portrait are your recommendations. Thank you. It's good to hear from you. And Safekeep and Maggie Farrell's The Marriage Portrait. Great. Una, The Universe Against Alex Woods by Gavin Extence. Great. Haven't heard of that. It's great. What do you think of small things like these? Look, I think they're all those books. You're talking about small things like these. Are the Colin Keown, which I love. They're beautiful. But Foster is the name of the book. Claire McKeown. What am I thinking? Claire McKeown. But
small things like these, I think that's the movie with Cillian Murphy.
yeah, but the author who's it's Claire. I know you're shouting at your screens. Claire Keegan. Thank you, Aidan. Sorry, Claire Keegan. Small things like that. Yeah, I think they're great. Look, the books like Claire Keegan's are so sparsely written. They're short. It's like reading a Christmas card. They're short, but they're beautiful. I mean, it is. If you can have an opera that goes on for 3.5 hours, or you can have a short haiku, and either way, it's beautiful writing and what have you. So I like them a lot. That movie was pretty bleak, as you'd expect, but it was good, and it was great acting in it. Julie says, Brightly Shining by Ingvild Rishoy. Oh, great. That looks a beautiful book for Christmas time. The Mysterious Bookshop, as you know, they do this. Have you been to the Mysterious Bookshop? It's in New York, and it's a great little bookshop. And every year, well, I don't know if they do it every year, but every now and again they commission crime writers to do a short story and to do with Christmas and the Mysterious Bookshop. So that's what I was reading this Christmas as well. Who else? The Essential Yogi. Enna was amazing in Lakelands. Aina. Oh, Aina. Sorry, Aina in Lakelands. Did I see Lakelands? I don't think so. He was in the Commandments one. That's where I saw him, and he was amazing. I didn't know he was Irish. His accent was so good. I saw a pretty dark film over Christmas on Netflix, says another message, or Prime, called Gulag, about a Hungarian prisoner of war. Tough watch, but excellent. Okay. Gulag. The 11th Commandment, is that what it's called? I'll come back to you. Dave Griffith Photography. I saw Saipan last week. How was it? I enjoyed it for what it was, but you'd have to have been about at the time to like it. Anyone under 30 mightn't get it. Yeah, I spent a couple of times the 6th Commandment. Do you know, I'd be useless in table quiz. I'd be hung out. Although I did have a good run at Trivial Pursuit over Christmas, but I don't want to boast. But the 6th Commandment, watch that if you can get your hands on Timothy Spall, but Aina Hardwick, that's where it broke out for me. Amazing. And what were we talking about there? Saipan. Yeah, I hear it might be a little bit Mick McCarthy unfriendly. Is that right? Bit pro Roy, which is probably not very fair if that's the case. I'll wait till I see it for myself and judge it then. But it divided the country, boom, down the middle, and we all know a bit about that. Caroline says, currently reading All the Colours of the Dark. Good read, Chris Whittaker. I'm halfway through. I was on the verge of ditching it, but it suddenly hit me. Boom, and you stayed with it. Great. That's a great book. It's in the mould of Joel Dicker, the Harry Kubert affair, which if you like that, go into that next. You're going to love it. House of the Vintage Shop said, rewatching Night Manager. Okay, let's talk about the Night Manager for a second. So season 1, this is Tom Hiddleston. Season 1, Aidan, you were saying as we were getting ready for the show today that this is, how's season 2 going? You watched
the first episode.
First episode?
Late last night. And it was so late that I was well past.
You were falling asleep.
And then I turned on the second episode.
Oh, it's that good. Okay. I'm in a minute.
Explosive start.
I'm going to go for it. Okay, explosive. I'm thinking of going watching the first season back and just take, because it's been so long since. Do they?
At the top.
Good recap. Love a recap. That's great. Meg says, would recommend Nix by Nathan Hill. Well, you know how much I loved Wellness. It was one of my favourite books of the last year. Loved it. I started the Nix, but it lost me. About 100 pages, but not in a bad way. I have to say, I got way distracted by other books. I might go back to it now that you say it. Thanks. Kath. Oh, interesting. Niall Williams. Great writer. I have not read Niall Williams. And a bit of a clunky name drop, but I was in touch with Conan O'Brien over Christmas, and I was recommending The Zorg to him, which I loved as a history book because he's a big history guy. And he recommended... That's the name drop. I'll pick it up my way. I've done quite well for name drops today. That's just one. And he recommended Niall Williams, which I'll have to give a look at some stage. So that's good. Sorry, thanks for the sound effects. It was great. Where was it? War Sailor on Prime, I think. War Sailor? Okay. I'll make a note of that. I haven't heard of that. War Sailor on Prime. Okay. Couple of things then before we say arrivederci. I would say A Christmas Carol in the Old Vic. Went to see that just before. Cried. When was the last time you cried watching theatre? I mean, a long time. It's so beautiful. They give out oranges. They have people playing the fiddles and they give out mince pies. It's so beautiful. And Scrooge, the guy playing Scrooge, he's an actor. He was briefly in Slow Horses in, I think, season 1 as the journalist, the sleazy journalist. He was wiry. He was neurotic. He was hyped up. He reminded me of a cross between Jeremy Irons and Bob Geldof. Yeah, as Scrooge. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. If you want to treat yourself to something special, it's on every year in the Old Vic. Book your tickets soon for next December. That's my top tip in advance. Elsewhere, thanks for doing that live today. I needed a Tubbs fix. Yes. Oh, that's so mad. Scars of Silence. Oh, this is great. Thank you, Mary. Scars of Silence is a book recommendation by Joanna. This looks like it might be a Scandi. Gustafsson. Yeah, that's probably from our friends up in Iceland somewhere, so we'll give that a go. I was rabbiting on there about something, but it's gone.
One of us was listening to
it. No, I don't blame you. I don't.
We were in London in the Old Vic.
Oh, the Old Vic, yeah. And the other thing that I went, thank you. The other thing that one of the most remarkable plays I've ever seen in my life. You want to get the clunk out in here, and it's like, you're going to smash your phone with it if I keep going like this. But it was in the Harold Pinter Theatre where The Weir has been on recently. And before that was Giant, which starred John Lithgow as Roald Dahl, and it showed up all his troublesome views, shall we say, because of an incident that happened back in 1983. That's no longer, you can't see that, but I found that jaw dropping. I just thought, great to see theatre and art to be so moving for all the right and wrong reasons. That's now on Broadway. So if you happen to be in New York, go and see that. The last thing on theatre I'll say, because I'm not massive theatre, but I'm getting into it more and more after London, is I want to go and see it. I was really excited that it's coming to Dublin, which is To Kill a Mockingbird, with the script by Aaron Sorkin. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing is that going to be? That's in the Bord Gosh Energy Theatre. I think it's next month. I'll be there.
I'm going to the matinee
You're going?
on the 21st of February.
What? I love an old matinee, I have to say. Yeah. That's. Oh, are you going with your mum? Oh, that's a great call. That's a great call. Oh, yeah, great. Okay, I'm going to get on that bus for sure. I read a small bit of Gary Paulson's book, Hatchet. Couldn't get into it, if I'm being honest. That's fine. Don't feel guilty. This is the other thing. I was talking to friends all the time and say, I'm not really a big reader. Doesn't matter. Even be a small reader. Just pick up something light or something that's short. There's no shame in any of it. Just read something, because honestly, it's like you're bringing your brain for a walk. It's lovely. Elsewhere, Joanne says, we devoured Landman over Christmas. A Taylor Sheridan production, the same guy that did Yellowstone, based on all the oil industry in Texas. Amazing, highly recommended. And Billy Bob Thornton, he had a terrible tragedy over Christmas. Anyway, he's so good. Thank you for that. I tried Landman. It didn't really do it for me. Chris Evans over in London raves about it. So definitely on your bus, that's for sure. Sorry, when can I go back to the Christmas Carol that I was at? And we were sitting in the audience it was so festive. It was about a week before Christmas or thereabouts. And all the Victorian costumes were on, and they were going around doing their thing. And the next thing, this one of the characters ran up the steps and said, Ryan Tubridy, what are you doing here? I said, what? I mean, this was in, like, it says, England, hello, Charles Dickens. And this big, lovely Irish accent. And I said, how are you? She goes, oh, you know my fella. I said, who's your fella? Chris Wally. Chris Wally, the actor, who is also on stage, the Young Offenders. Brilliant guy. His dad used to text into us to say, my son's doing well, and boy, is he doing well. Anyway, she was a delight from Cork. If anyone knows her, tell her I said hi, and she was amazing. That would be really nice. Current binge for Emma is Heated Rivalry, a fiery 6-episode series on two male hockey players within hockey world as unknown as a gay pairing. Must watch. Heated Rivalry. I mean, the pitch is amazing in itself. I've got an idea.
It's reviewed, and I think it needs to come with some.
It needs to come with an age warning. It's steamy. Okay. Well, that's good. I think we don't need to say any more than that, but good luck with that. Sounds great. It's called Heated Rivalry. Thank you for that, Emma. And I think that's pretty much where we're going to wrap it for now. I've got to go to Hamnet tonight. I'll by the time next time we talk, I'll have Liz Nugent's brilliant new book finished, and I'm going to get stuck into either Charlene's book Saoirse or Henrietta's book The Woman in the Water. Angela in Strasbourg, ooh la la, says, fab lunch break, let's do this again soon, please. So is this going to be a podcast? We're going to wrap this up as to package it as a podcast for the bookshelf.
Available to listen back and watch back on YouTube.
Amazing. Listen, watch back. Well, you know what? We might come back and do this again next week. Let's see how time. What do you think, lads? Is that a completely stupid idea? I mean,
Free, same time.
are you all free? Shall we see you all next week? Anyway, enjoy the rest of your. Is it Wednesday? Is it only Tuesday? Crikey, this day. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you for getting in touch. You can get in touch, of course, through Instagram on InstaTubridy if you want to leave a message with anything that you'd like to say. Loved your many comments today. It's really great. You're all reading, you're all watching, and you're all listening. So we wish you well. We might just do this again. If we do it again, we will do it at this time, in this place, next week. So mind yourselves, and we'll see you next time.